Hi. Um, Hi, Bridget. What is your initial impression of the show? Um, right now, it's interesting. That's open. It's bothering me. I like what's happening. Um, I love the concept of the dream world, just like going into a place of like the Imaginarium. But I like that we don't know a lot because I don't feel like I really know what's going on other than them saying, "Hey, come here and do this," and now we're doing this, and you're just kind of like, "Oh, okay." So I really I like not knowing, which is weird because I kind of always know what's happening. Um, where would you rather be? Right now? Well, I'm here, so I like being here. Um, my sister just came in town, so it would be nice to hang out with her. But she's hanging out with my friend, so that's fine. I just hope that this is helping me with my hair. Um, I hope she's just having a good time with my friend right now while I'm here. Um, yeah, but actually, it's really nice outside. I kind of wish we were outside doing this. That would be actually really cool. Um, how do you, how do others perceive you? Um, I guess it depends the person. I'm saying a lot. I don't know why. I, you know what it is? I don't ever have people ask me a lot of personal questions. So even though these aren't personal, like asking me like, oh, what's your favorite thing, or you know what I mean? But I don't. I don't ever. Have, I don't know. I feel like I have conversations with people, but I've never had people actually ask me personal things about me, of my perspective and my opinion. So how do others perceive you? I feel like people perceive me very interestingly because I'm one of those kind of people that people love or they hate. If you love me, you love me, and we're best friends, and we're gonna make cake and pie and have a great time, and like shit's gonna go crazy. But if you hate me, you fucking hate me, and you're like, oh, that bitch, oh, I don't want like her. But honestly, I think it's because they just don't understand me really well, and I think sometimes people don't, you know, you know what it is. I think sometimes people aren't open to someone who's not like them, or not, or someone who doesn't like they don't have any basis. Like they're like, oh, I've never met someone like you. Okay, well that's great. You should you why would you want to be meeting people like everyone? You know what I mean? So it's kind of nice in that sense. You know what I mean? Like that people are saying, "Oh, I've never met someone like you," and you're like, "Oh, that's really nice." But then also on the same thing, people get like kind of angry because they can't define you, and it's funny because like humans just want to define, they want to label, and that's why I kind of like that I don't know anything about this other than them being like, okay, go to confessional, tell us about, don't don't be your character, just uh, sorry, this thing's distracting me. Like looking at myself, I'm like trying to fix my hair like it's a mirror. Um, wait, what was I just talking about? Fuck. Um, people they just don't. Oh, labels. So people love to label things, and people love to be able to be like, this is a computer, this is a desk, this is that, blah blah blah, label, 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 label. But as soon as someone can't label a characteristic of a human, people are like, oh, that person's weird. That person, oh, I don't like that person. They're something's wrong with them, or oh, they're loud. You know what I mean? I get, oh, I'm loud, or I'm too much. But oh, who I don't know who quoted it, but someone. Oh fuck! I really wish I could remember this. It's someone who was saying about um, you're not a real person if people don't love you or hate you, and I really enjoy that quote because I'm like, I've got people who love me and I got people who hate me. So I'm glad I do. I guess, you know what I mean? Like, who, but if you're not a real person, if people don't hate you, you know what I mean? Like, that means that you're not pushing the envelope, or you're not challenging people's brains and their mind and their perspectives, which is great because I feel like everyone should be challenging everyone. And if you're in that situation where you feel like you're just not being challenged, like I hate the word boring. I hate it. Fucking hate that word. I hate that word so much. Why do I hate that word? I'll explain it to you. Because people aren't satisfied with just being like content in themselves, or even like having to rely on other people to be entertained. Like, people can't just be like, oh, you know what, I'm not being entertained right now, so I'm gonna go for a walk, I'm gonna go run, I'm gonna paint, I'm gonna draw, I'm gonna call up a friend and hang out. You know what I mean? Like, and if that person can't hang out with you or whatever, you're in control of yourself. And I hate when people are like, well, that's boring, I don't want to do that. Well, what's your idea? Oh, you don't have an idea? Oh, that's interesting. And you just, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're just not excited with life. And I feel like a lot of the people I'm friends with, and the people who I'm drawn to, and the people who love me, end up being the people who are excited about life, who don't like really using the word boring either, because they don't see boring. They see an opportunity. They see life. You know what I mean? Like, like, it makes me really excited that, like, this project, going back to the other questions, the impression of the show is just like how I love that people were exploring dreams, because I love dreams, and I have really fucking crazy vivid dreams. Like, I had this one dream that it was kind of funny because they're like, oh, you're being casted as a girl for horror, and I'm like, oh god, like, cause I'm actually like I like, horror scares me so much. Like, I can't watch horror movies actually, because my imagination's so fucking crazy that when I watch horror movies, when I go to sleep, my brain goes into like a completely different realm of like the horror movie. Like, I just go, like, I'm just like, oh, like, I just go crazy. Like, my brain just, like, I'll wake up sweating and I'll be like, oh my god, and I'll like have to like lay next to people or something. You know what I mean? Like, I've woken up my sister in the middle of the night before. I'm like, Claire, and she'll be like, what? I'll be like, I can't sleep. I'm like freaking out. Like, my brain is seriously freaking out right now. Like, I had this one dream that when they told me, they're like, oh, write a journal of your dreams. And it just, like, as soon as they said that, I was like, oh my gosh, this one dream. It just like popped in my head. I was like, oh my gosh, like this one. Okay, so what the dream is. I was driving down the road. I wasn't driving. Someone else was driving. Can't remember who it is. But I was driving down the road. And it was like one of those, it's like a road. And then you had like a side road that could go off that was blocked off with all these gates and like signs. Be like, oh, don't enter. The orange cones. You know what I mean? Like very police-like. So... And of course, me and my friend, even in my dream, I'm like, fuck it. And so, like, we move the cones, and then we keep driving past this road. And then we go to, it's like a long, you know, what is it called? The long country roads that have, the long country roads that are all the way down, and then, like, it's all, like, mud and gravel and everything. So I go down there, and then there's these weeping willows. And weeping willows, to me, I'm just like, oh, I love them because they're beautiful. But if, like, all wives' tale is if they're taller than the house, then someone's going to die in the house. So in my head, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I already know that there's death coming towards me. Because I already have this imagery in my head. I'm like, oh, I already know this. And so I come in there, and we're listening to this radio station, and it's like talking about how there's a killer on the loose. And he's just not killing people, he's killing everything. And as soon as we get to the house, we come out, and it's like one of those country houses with a big porch. There's weeping willows everywhere. We come outside, and there's just dead things everywhere. Like, there's a cow in the tree, and it's just, like, cut open. And there's just, like, fox dead. You know what I mean? Like just dead things just hanging around everywhere. And you're just like, what the fuck? Oh, my gosh, I cannot believe there's dead shit. Just, like, everywhere. and you're just like freaking out because you're like, everything around me is dead right now. And like hearing that, like I just, like remember this dream, so crazy because I knew not to go inside the house. Like even in my dream, I was like, don't fucking go in there. That's not good. Do not go. Do not go in that house. Don't go in the house because if there's dead things hanging out of the tree, what do you think's gonna be inside? Like, if there's dead things in the tree, don't you think inside it's gonna be a lot worse? You know what I mean? Because it's closed in. Like this guy, like, fucked up. Like I'm gonna kill some cows and then hang them in the tree. You know what I mean? Like fuck. And I just remember the person just like looking at me and being like, oh no. Like I don't remember who it is. I really wish I could, but the person just looked at me and I just knew like that's not good. So we just jumped back in the car and like drove off. And I just remember being like, even in my dream, being like panicked because I knew of the imagery of the weeping willow and like I guess the weeping willow thing because that always freaked me out because I always wanted one in my house. Like I always wanted like I like your dream like, oh, what would I want? Like what do I want my house to look like? Like what do I want in the plants or whatever? And I always wanted weeping willows because they're so pretty and like the leaves are like little fingernails like leaf fingernails that are just like and but I just thought it was so pretty. And then until someone was like, oh, the old wives' tale where if the weeping willow tree is taller than the person's house, then someone's gonna die in it. I was like, oh my god, I don't want a weeping willow anymore, even though they're beautiful and I love them. But when I see a weeping willow now and it's in someone's yard and it's taller than the house, I start freaking out because I'm like, someone's gonna die. Like that's what I think. I'm just like, oh my gosh, someone's gonna die. Is everyone gonna be okay? But my time's actually up and I've been talking so much longer than I should. So I'm going to go out there and watch everyone. And everyone's been doing a really good job. And it's interesting. This is just, I'm excited to discover what's it entail, It's kind of, I'm excited. That's a good thing. All right. Have a good day, I guess. Oh, bye. Thanks.